All right. Let's see. It seems that we are live. Let me go ahead and copy this link over and we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay. Please give me just a second, guys, as I share the link out, and then we'll get right into the stream. I'll go ahead and pull up the chat and see how you guys are doing this morning. Cool. See a couple people already tuned in. Let's get this cleaned up. Let's start looking at some of these charts here. I see Jova says, Buenos dias, Nick. Liao says, hi. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for showing up. We are going to be doing NFP live here on the stream. This is a big event. This is our biggest stream usually of the month. We've got a lot of people who come in here. We're going to take a look at the charts and we're going to talk about what's going, what's moving, some trade ideas, all of the good stuff that comes with NFP. We're getting into it today. Stick around too if you're just tuning in right now. We are going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be getting into, again, going through some charts. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. And we are going to be doing a giveaway for a yearly membership with my team. If you are already a member, don't worry. You can still win. And if you do win, you get an extra year added on to your membership. So definitely don't want to miss that. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you who are just getting in here, I see Mark. I see Jeremiah. Hopefully I said that. Jeremiah. Sorry if I messed it up. Liao, Jova. Good to see you guys. Vince says hello. Good to see all of you guys for tuning. Thanks so much for tuning into the stream. We're going to be doing some NFP news streaming live, of course, as I mentioned here in just a second ago. We're going to be jumping into some of the charts. Going to stick, however, mostly to those NFP related news pairs, which are going to be our US dollar and Canadian dollar related currencies. So if you do have any stream or any charts you'd like me to pull up on this stream, I'm very happy to do so. Very happy to be here with you guys. But I do ask that if you have one you'd like me to look at, I'm going to primarily only look at the US dollar ones. I'm going to look at the Canadian dollar ones. I'm going to go through some analysis. We're going to break down the charts. We're going to talk about trade ideas. We're going to go through some stuff. And again, like I mentioned, guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you want to win a chance to be with my VIP team for the next full year, this is your chance. This is the biggest stream of the year. Well, maybe of the year, but of the month for sure. So gonna love to do that with you guys. Bart says, hey Nick, NFP, let's go, baby. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go jump into some of these currency pairs. We're gonna talk about what's going on. Let's start with my current favorite currency pair, which is USD Canadian. Now let's go ahead and jump into this, guys. If you have any questions, as per usual, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me in the stream chat. You can also discuss amongst yourself in the stream chat. Let's go ahead and jump into this, guys. I don't want to delay too much. Starting out with USD CAD, guys, here's what I see. We've been in this ranging market for quite some time. And what's interesting is that we just now have some interesting stuff going on here at the bottom of this channel. Now, if we notice, we actually had a cross of the 20 and the 50 EMA, right? This is not necessarily an indication that price is going to go barreling down, but it does tell us that, hey, buyers have shown some weakness and sellers have shown some strength and pushed price to the downside here, pushing price lower. So we found some nice bounce off of that structural low, and we've also seen some sort of push back now underneath it. Now here's the thing, I'm not totally convinced that we are out of this range. I mean, obviously we've broken down and closed beneath it, and that could be something to look for, but we may also, you know, we haven't quite cleared it convincingly. If we see some more flush to the downside on the actual release itself, meaning that we get a bearish USD, that could be super interesting, right? So going to be looking to see what we get overall for that. But here's some general structural points here that I see when looking at USD CAD. Let's go ahead and make this red just for clarity there. If we take a look at USD CAD, what we also notice is that we have some structural points here in the market that we may see get retested. So if we get into that, what we're talking about here is that, okay, let's say we get a bullish move in terms of NFP release, right? Then what we could see here is we could actually see a retracement up to test that structural level. Many times, guys, when we're looking at markets, when we're talking about structure points in the market, we see, price wants to retrace. Price wants to come back and test structures structures of weakness or structures of trend level to kind of identify that the market still has potential there. So what we may see is that if, hey, we get that movement to the upside with NFP, meaning we get a bullish dollar movement, we could get a retracement back to this structural level where we may find sellers waiting. That's just a play out, that's just a scenario that we could see here in this charts. The other scenario that we may see, guys, is we may see a push to the downside. And if that happens, we don't know which way the news is necessarily going to go, but we are ready to adapt. We are ready to trade this. What you could look for is maybe on a more swing trade basis, if we do get some sort of retracement here, well, we could look for that entry on the retest, right? We could see some sort of potential long-term continuation to the downside if indeed this structure does decide to break, right? We've been playing this in the VIP group. We've been playing this range for quite some time. We've caught trades on the top side, the bottom side, top side, all of that stuff. We've had some great trades on USD CAD here during this channel range. You can see those two moving averages really close to each other, ranging for the most part all along the way. But now what we're seeing is that, hey, are we ready to potentially break that range? We need to analyze these ranges, because understanding when price is potentially leaving a range is huge, because you can understand maybe I should start to shift my strategy here and look for some trend continuation pullbacks as opposed to trying to trade mean reversion or reversals, right? So if we do get a bearish dollar here, if we get a USD CAD move to the south side, we could see a push lower, a retest up, and potentially look for that longer term swing. Now in the short term, you may find some opportunities, and I want to jump into that as well. I have done my homework on this currency pair for this stream because it is, like I mentioned, it's one of my current favorite ones to trade and look at. So USD CAD, check it out, guys. If we get that move to the downside, if we see it push lower, we could head down to test this structural level. So if we get that bearish release, we may find temporary support down here. That would be about a move of, let's measure that out. That would be a pip movement of about 62 or so pips, which is not out of the question. We could totally see a bigger move from NFP, and we definitely will get some sort of volatility. Again, guys, before we go any further, I do want to invite you guys to stick around. We're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to give one free full year. I do not do this often, but I want to do it today. Thank you guys very much for your support on this channel. If you are new, by the way, if you want to qualify for the giveaway right now, you have to be subscribed to the channel in order to be a winner. So right now, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, come back and see us in the future. We definitely do all sorts of good stuff. So if you want a chance to win, we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'll release more details about that later on in the stream. Stick around, but you need to know that you need to be subscribed to the channel in order to qualify for the giveaway. Okay? So hopefully that is all set. You should also subscribe anyways, just because we do all sorts of cool stuff on this channel. So thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate that. Oh, and look, we got a super chat from Mary Catherine. Thanks for all of your instruction. Thank you very much for the super chat. I just actually enabled that, and I really do appreciate that. That's super cool. Thanks so much. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Okay, let's move on to, that was USD CAD, guys. Let's take a look at Euro USD. Vince says USD Swiss. We can totally look at USD Swiss, but I do want to jump into Euro USD before we go any further here, due to the fact that we have some interesting trend structure here when looking at Euro USD. Okay. Hey guys, good to see you. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to read off a couple of the names that are tuned in. Nick Ebrat says, hi. Hey, Nick. Sananu, hopefully I said that right, says hi, Nick. Mary Catherine, again, thank you very much for the donation. Super nice of you. Nicholas says USD CAD daily upward trend. Yeah, we could definitely look at that again. USD CAD on the long term is looking, bullish, but we'll see what we get on this release. Vince Jack says USD Swiss. Good to see you, Vince. Thanks so much for showing up. We can take a look at USD Swiss. Absolutely. USD NFP CAD unemployment change. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on with the CAD and the US dollar. Gary says good morning, Nick and everyone. Gary, I hope we figured everything out with your VIP membership. I went ahead and made sure you were promoted. You should see everything. Jordan says hi. Kayam says hi. All of you guys, thanks so much for being here. Good to see everybody in the stream chat. Let's continue on with our analysis. Again, stick around for the giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway before the news release at some point, and of course, we will be watching the actual news release. We're also looking for trade setups and ideas and all sorts of stuff, so stay tuned, take notes, get ready. If you're charting alongside with me, you can write along with me. We can take a look at the charts, and if you see anything, please share it with the group. We'd love to hear it from you. Okay, so let's continue on. I see Heath is in the audience. Good to see you, Heath. Thanks so much for tuning in. Euro USD, guys, I want to talk about this pair. Currently, very, very interesting structure here with Euro USD, and I'll tell you why, okay? We have this we have this channel that's been trading in a range. This is a daily chart, guys. And it's important to understand that longer term structure in order to understand kind of what's going on with this market. We are looking at this daily chart. That's a long-term chart, guys. And this is multiple months channeling to the downside. So when we're looking at Euro USD, here's the thing. You guys know from those of you guys who are regulars on my channel, you know that I usually like to trade within the context of what the market is showing us. This market environment is a very slow and steady trend to the downside. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. And what's going to be interesting is, hey, if we get that move to the upside, meaning we get a bearish release for US dollar, we could actually break this structure. And in fact, NFP might just be the thing that causes that, right? We could see some sort of break like this, right? We could see that structure move to the upside and break Euro USD out of this movement. Not guaranteed, not necessarily saying that that's what I think is going to happen, but it has the potential, right? NFP has the potential to really move the market and to move things like that. So we want to be prepared for that outcome. Now, the other scenario is Euro USD. I think the more likely scenario is that we see some sort of retracement here back to the downside on Euro USD, potentially to go back and test. Now, there's a stopping point that I do want to mention. For those of you guys who are intraday, I think that we may see some intraday potential here at this structural level. You can see we had a triple bottom, right? 1, 2, 3 bottoms there before pushing back up. So if we get down to that level, hey, we might see some short-term bounces. We may see some volatility come in from buyers who are looking at that level as a potential buy-in location. Hopefully that makes sense. Guys, before I move on, remember, the first thing I do want to say is that we don't know which way the news is going. Nobody does, and anybody who's trying to sell you that they know where the news is going is very, very likely lying to you. I've never met a retail trader who could call the news. I've never even met a institutional trader who could call the news accurately. News is something that is very, very unexpected a lot of times, and even when it is expected, you don't get much of a movement, and then when it's unexpected, you get a massive movement. So it's hard to tell exactly what the news is going to do. And my personal opinion is to trade the aftermath of the news or to trade prior to the news, but not to trade the release. I know some people prefer to trade the release, and that's totally up to you. That's your decision. Again, not here to tell you what to buy or sell, just telling you some analysis that I see on the market. We're reading the charts together here. Thanks so much for being here. I do hope that you get something out of it. And again, to qualify for the giveaway, you have to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. So right now, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, why not subscribe and come back and see us? You'll also qualify for today's giveaway, which is 1 full year of membership with my team. You get access to our educational content, our channels for chatting and talking about trading. You also get access to everything that I'm doing in the market live, intraday and swing trade base. Okay, so again, let's continue to talk about it. NFP, I see Drunken Monkey tuning in. Good to see you, Ryan. Thanks so much for being here. Shian says, hi, Nick. Imran says, can you analyze on gold and oil? Sure, we can. We're going to do USD Swiss next. Drunken Monkey says, I have the NFP outcome. 5 pineapples, 5x pineapple. I love it. That might be more accurate than you know, because I think you have a better idea than most people. Iman says, Iman, I think it's Iman. Sorry if I mess it up. Let's get this bread, boys. Yeah, we are going to see some interesting potential moves here. We may see that follow through. We may see a sporadic spike in reverse, but we'll have to get into it. Guys, before I go any further, does this make sense on Euro USD? Again, we have a lot of charts to cover, so what you can do to help me here is that if you're clarified and everything makes sense, do me a favor and put yes in the stream chat right now. That will let me know that we're good to continue on to the next currency pair. I'm going to take a look at USD Swiss next, but before I do, I want to make sure that we are good to go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate, seriously, all of you guys tuning in and hanging out on the charts with me, and I hope that you'll come back and see us again. Gary says, subscribe. Nick is a young Warren Buffett. I don't know if I would go there. Warren Buffett was probably miles ahead of me at my age, but I do appreciate the comment, Gary. And, you know, honestly, attracting the right people is exactly what I'm here to do. So if you are a genuine trader and you're looking to learn for real, welcome to the channel. Let's continue on. I see a lot of yeses. Thank you very much for your feedback, guys. Let's move on to the next currency pair, which is USD CHF. Let's jump into the chart. Let's see what we've got overall here when looking at the chart. Now, super interested in USD Swiss right now. We've been identifying this structure here in the VIP group for a little bit. We've been eyeing the fact that, hey, this level of structure is very, very significant. Let's go ahead and move our moving averages off for the time being here. Looking at the daily chart here on USD Swiss, guys, we have this structural point here. What you see is you saw price come to this level. You saw it bounce nicely. We came back to that level and we found more buyer support. And currently, check out what we've seen in the last couple of days, because I think this is super, super interesting. Okay. Here's the thing that we've seen. We've seen price wick to the downside, but it was a big fake out, right? We saw a bearish movement that was a big fake to the downside, right? We saw price move down and quickly fade that movement back up, and now kind of chopping around. Guys, here's the thing about USD Swiss right now, and most USD and Canadian currency pairs, is we're going to see that delay. We're going to see that congestion right now. Why? Well, many of you guys are here for the same reason that institutional traders are here. We're looking at the charts and kind of waiting. We're being patient about that news release. We don't want to jump into trades right now. So we're not seeing a ton of follow through anywhere here on USD Swiss. In fact, we've been trading pretty sideways. Look at that consolidation, right? We went down, we went up, we went down, we went up, right? Not really decisively moving here on a pair that has been pretty decisive, right? We had a move down, we had a float up, down, right? And now we're seeing that consolidation for 4 days or so here prior to the news. Institutions know the news is coming, so they're closing out their positions. They're kind of consolidating. People may be picking up buy positions. They may be picking up sell positions. All of that stuff is kind of in the works here before the news. But here's what I want to say. We had a fake out to the downside. So we know that there were buyers down in this structural low. So buyers took control of this market and pushed it back up to this structural level. So fair value here is probably right around this level right now, and we are currently waiting to see what happens with this news release. Again, we don't know which way the news release is going to go, but guys, I want to analyze a couple scenarios that we could be ready for. If we do get that bullish push here, guys, our first stop, at least in technical analysis when analyzing these charts, because remember, what we're doing here is we're analyzing from a technical perspective what could happen, right? And when looking at technicals here, I see major resistance at this structural level. You can see buyers stepped in. They pushed price up at this level. And so currently, if we see price move to the upside once more, we may see sellers kind of step in at this structural level again. So going to be prepared for that. If price does make a movement up there, that's a level to potentially watch for, right? And we could come right back to this structural level. So that's something entirely in the potential works here if we do get a bullish dollar release. Remember, we don't know which way the news release is going to go, but we're ready to adapt, and we're looking for strategy setups on both sides of the coin. So again, keeping it simple, we're at a structural level of support. My first inclination here is that support probably will hold, and that we'll see some sort of a bounce here on USD CHF. Now, we don't know that to be the case, and we don't know how much of a movement we may get up or down. But another scenario that we could see is, hey, we identified that we had this structural low, right? We identified that we had this pinpoint price where buyers stepped in and pushed price back up to the upside. Currently, that is our low. This is our major structural level of potential short-term support. Now, if we do get a bearish release, we likely will take out that level pretty quick and move lower, but that level could come right back into play when talking about levels of what was support now becomes potential resistance. So another scenario that we may see play out, guys, is if we do get that structure break down below, this becomes our recent low, and we could set up some potential trades to the sell side on more of a swing trade or intraday level. Okay, hopefully that makes sense there on USD Swiss. Again, my priority is going to be potentially to look for, see if we get some sort of a long side action. We have one more thing that I'd like to add here. You can see it lines up nicely with this trend line. The other scenario that we may see play out, is we may actually get some sort of a break of that structure if we get a really strong NFP, but we don't know if that's going to happen, right? We're not mind readers or anything like that, but this is a scenario that could play as well. We want to wait to see what that NFP news release kind of delivers us here in terms of data. We want to see how strong is this news move going to be? Are we going to have some follow through, or are we going to just fade it back? And the way to tell that is to see if the numbers are deviation, if there's an unexpected news result and we see some serious momentum pick up in the market. The best way, in my opinion, to trade that would be to look for kind of pullbacks in the market and to look to join the movement if the movement looks solid, right? If we see structure gets broken, right? If we do break this trend line and we break this level of resistance, that's a huge bullish indication that USD Swiss may be ready to take a move to the upside. And if we do get to the upside, long term, we have resistance up here. So that is the final thing I want to mention on USD Swiss. Long term, we may be headed, if we do get some sort of bullish movement and we see some serious momentum change here as buyers potentially step in, we could see price move back to the upside on USD Swiss. Of course, the other scenario is that if we get that bearish news release, we may see a continuation of this trend, and we could get some opportunities on this trend line as well. So that's a general analysis. I know it is general because we don't know which way the news release is going to go, but the technicals are interesting both ways, and I think that there's probable scenarios, no matter what goes on, that you and I and all traders who are paying attention and who are actively involved and managing the risk and sticking to their strategy really could take advantage of. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to take a look at gold So I want to make sure everybody is good on this currency pair before I do move on. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Again, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. In case you were just joining in, I'm going to be doing a giveaway in this stream for 1 full year. I don't do this very often, but I want to do it today because this stream is a big part of the overall YouTube channel, and I do appreciate all the support for you guys that you give me on this channel. It does mean a lot to me. I seriously do mean that from the deepest part of me, right? So let's jump into the giveaway just before we go any further. 1 full year of membership with my team. You get access to my trading signals. You get access to my educational content. Everything that I have to offer, you get a full year. And let me tell you how you can do that. Step 1, subscribe to the channel down below. You have to be subscribed in order to qualify for the giveaway win, okay? You have a chance to win, but you have to be subscribed down below. No matter if you're a VIP member or not, you can still access to winning a full free year with the team. So 1 full year, you have to be subscribed down below, so subscribe to the channel. That's number 1. Number 2 is at some point in the stream, I'm going to be doing a random number generator from 1 to 10,000, and whoever gets the closest number when I say go, you get to pick one number, and whoever gets closest gets a chance to win a free 1 year with me. Whoever is closest, I will determine the winner, and we'll get going from there. But again, the biggest thing is you have to be subscribed to the channel to qualify to win, and you also have to be in here and paying attention for when that release actually gets going, right? So when we do that NFP release, that's one thing, but there's also the giveaway. So pay attention to both. Okay, does that make sense? Before I move on anywhere here, USD Swiss, are you guys good to go here? Do me a big favor and put yes or no in the stream chat down below. That will let me know that we can move on to the next currency pair. I know you guys have a lot that you'd like to look at. I have a lot to look at as well. Do me a favor, yes or no, are we good to move on from USD Swiss? And was that helpful to you guys? Awesome. Thank you very much for your feedback, guys. Seriously, that lets me know that we can keep going. I know we have a lot to do. We have a lot to look at, so I want to continue to move on. The next one I'm going to do, I am going to take a look at gold. I'm also going to look at USD/JPY. I'm also going to take a look at GBP USD. So let's start out with gold, just because I've seen some requests on that. Let's take a look at XAU USD. I know that that's a popular currency to take a look at right now. We are still trading in a range here on gold. And look at that. Interestingly enough, we have seen that crossover on the 20 and the 50. Typically that shows momentum to the upside, and look how quick that crossed. That was how fast and powerful that movement was. Let's break down XAU USD. Again, thank you very much for being here, guys. If you're just tuning into the stream, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in and tuning in to the live NFP stream. We do this once a month. We usually come on about an hour before the news. But guys, there's more than just NFP streams. I do all sorts of educational content for free for Forex traders here. Of course, if you want to take it to the next level and trade alongside me, you can do so by joining my VIP team. You get access to all my trading signals, educational content, membership, all of that good stuff. And a lot of the fantastic people here in the chat room right now are a part of the VIP family. We work together and we learn together every single day. Seriously, cannot brag about it enough. I love our community. I love working with traders. That's honestly my favorite thing to do. Okay, XAU USD. Let's break down gold, guys. Thank you very much again for being here. Let's talk about gold. So here's our structural high, right? We identified this level, and luckily I kept my analysis on from yesterday. We had been in that downtrend, right? Look at this. We've had structural levels of resistance. Here's a resistance level, here's a resistance level, and we've seen that series of lower highs here forming in the market. Again, if we identify, this whole range right here, that is entirely a trend line down to the downside, right? Pushing price lower and lower, forming those key lower highs, which tell us that the market is trending to the downside. But here's what we had that was big, and it was a game changer. We broke and we closed above that structure. That was huge in indicating that the market was potentially ready to reverse. And of course, we saw that continuation to the upside. In fact, not only did we break that structure, we formed kind of a nice little triple bottom here, and then we pushed up. So let's go ahead and make that blue just so we can understand. Because remember, guys, I know this is past data, but it's important to understand the story of what's going on the chart in order to potentially look for what's going to happen next, right? It's kind of like if you're looking at somebody's habits and patterns, you can predict what they're going to potentially do next, right? It's the same sort of thing in investing and in trading, right? If a company beats on their earnings every single month, there's a good chance that they're going to continue to beat on their earnings, and they're going to continue to grow revenue. When it comes to Forex, when it comes to looking at gold and oil and all of those things, right? Looking at the trends, looking at the market behavior and the structural clues that the market is leaving you is key in identifying potentially what's going to happen next. So we saw this triple bottom here, nice little structure. We had this bounce higher, that was a higher low, and we saw that continuation. Price broke and shot up to the recent level of resistance here. You can see identified in red. So that's where we're currently at. This structural level, we saw price minorly find support. You can see it broke above, found support, and rallied once more. But here's what's interesting, guys, is we found major resistance here on gold at this recent structural high. Long term, we've been in a nice uptrend, right? We've pulled back and now we've pushed to the upside. Are we going to continue that uptrend, or are we going to sell off? Before I go any further, I do want to hear just from you guys in the audience. I want to hear your opinion on gold. Do we see gold move up, or do we see it move down? Take a second here. If you are watching and you're paying attention, you're interested in gold and you have an opinion, up or down on gold, what do you guys think? I would like to just get your feedback there and see what you say. Dominique says, what's the period number? We're currently looking at the daily chart. I want to see if we are thinking up or down overall when looking at XAU USD. Like I mentioned, trading right near structural highs. What's next? What do you guys think? So I'm seeing a couple ups. I'm seeing a couple downs. Lau says up overall. I like that answer. I think that's an interesting point. Up overall. I do like that answer. So bearish, check the 1 hour chart. We could take a look at that. Seeing a doji here. Good point. It's a pennant. Yep. Very good points. All of you guys. Thank you very much for sharing your analysis there on gold. So here's the thing. Okay. I did like the concept of up overall. And I also like the answer of down. Okay. And here's why. In the short term, I see gold as potentially overbought, right? I see gold as structurally pretty high. But Drunken Monkey also mentioned, Ryan, he mentioned that it depends what the news release goes, right? Our emotions, our opinions, they don't really matter to the news. The news can go higher and the news can go lower, and it doesn't really matter what we think about it, right? But we want to be adaptive. We want to be ready for what the news throws at us. And so up overall, I do like that answer. Here's the thing. Long term, maybe up. Short term, my opinion is more structured to the downside. We are at a major level of resistance. I think price is looking very overbought. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 candles here to the upside. And usually when you get those movements, eventually you see some sort of continuation back down. You see some sort of pullback. Now our first stop when talking about a pullback is this structural level of potential support, and a potential secondary level of structure would be to move back down to maybe this range here. You can see that if I identify this structure here in the market, that's going to be one to watch as well, right? That's a potential level of support down here. So those are some pullback levels that I see potentially happening in this market. And one more thing that we could add on to this gold analysis is we could talk about our fib retracements, right? Let's pull this retracement and let's see if anything lines up really nicely. So we have that pullback potentially to that 50% level. That looks pretty good, pretty solid overall. You can see that range looks pretty solid as a potential buy zone right around here, right? So that's something to look for when looking at XAU USD. We may see that movement to the downside. I'm not saying or trying to call out that gold is going to fall, but I am saying that gold is looking relatively stretched and would not be out of the question that if we start to see that rollover, if we start to see confirmation that price is likely going to go down, that we get some sort of a pullback to a major structural level of support and potentially find support maybe at something like the 50% retracement combined with maybe we see a movement back down and it hits this trend line as well, right? Maybe that 50% level comes in back here. Could be something to look for, right? All of these things are interesting points to consider when looking at XAU USD and trying to analyze. I know this chart is looking pretty ugly. I do not usually get this colorful and rainbow looking on my charts, but I hope that for those of you guys who are following along on gold, I am interested in hearing your thoughts. Was this helpful to you guys? Gold, XAU USD. Does this make sense? And can I move on, or do we need to stay here? Do me a favor, down below in the stream chat, yes or no. Was this helpful to you on gold? So forecast number on NFP lower than actual number, so it should go up. So we actually haven't gotten our actual numbers yet. The actual numbers come out in about 29 minutes. We are going to be also doing a giveaway prior to that. I see a lot of yeses, so thank you very much for your feedback, guys. That does let me know that we're good to go. What a lot of people will do is USD is extremely weak. Gold and Bitcoin will be the safe havens they go to. Interesting point. We very well may see something like that, right? Is if US dollar continues to be bearish. A lot of times though, guys, the market is pretty cyclical. I'm not saying that US dollar is going to be bullish, but I am saying that there's a good chance that typically when prices get stretched in the Forex market, eventually they decide, you know, that they want to retrace, that they want to go find structural levels of support in the market. Guys, stick around again. If you're just tuning in, we are going to be doing a giveaway. I won't harp on this too long again, but very quickly, we're going to be doing a giveaway where I give 1 full year access to my VIP team membership group. So it's going to be super big. You get a full year access to my signals, my educational content, all of that. There's 2 simple rules that you need to do in order to qualify to win that 1 year. And if you're a member already, you still get access to potentially winning this, okay? 1 year, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Subscribe down below right now. Why not? You also get access to come back and see us again. So subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2 is stick around until we actually do the giveaway. I'll give more details about how you can enter your chance to win. There is a good chance of being a winner today. And again, the prize is pretty big. I do not usually do yearly giveaways, but I'm going to be giving away a yearly for those of you guys who are tuned into the stream today. Thank you very much again for your support. I do appreciate you being here on the stream. You know, from me to you, this is a giveaway to try and kind of just thank the community for everything that you guys do to support the stream. Let's move on to the next currency pair, guys. We have a lot of stuff to look at. Which says, why is NFP so important? Very quickly, NFP is important because it is essentially unemployment rates for the US, and the US dollar is the biggest currency in the world, right? So the US dollar, the rest of the world is watching to see how the US dollar performance is doing in order to judge their own monetary policies and kind of just to look at the overall global perspective of things, okay? Adam says USD bullish. We'll have to see what's going on. Again, thank you very much for your subscription, Ahmad. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of you guys who are subscribed and waiting for the giveaway. We will be getting into that. Again, make sure you're subscribed in order to win. Okay, XAU USD. Let's talk about, I believe we want to talk about USD JPY. I have a lot of charts I want to look at, so please be patient with me if you have one you want me to look at. USD JPY has been respecting, I've noticed recently it's been respecting this 20 period pretty nicely here. The blue line here, we saw a nice little bounce once and then a bounce twice. And now what's interesting when looking at USD JPY, I do want to look at it from a daily perspective because there are some swing trading potentials here. And then we'll go ahead and go down to the lower time frame a little bit on USD JPY. Again, if I miss your call out or something that you want me to look at, please, I do apologize. I have a lot of chats coming in and a lot of charts to look at, so I do appreciate your patience with me. So USD JPY, if we do get that bullish news on USD that we've been talking about, that potential movement to the upside may float up here. We may see price come back and test this structural level of what was support, now potentially acting as resistance, right? We could see that continuation overall. If we do get a pullback, we may see price come up here and find sellers. Of course, the other major level of structure that we want to talk about here is our recent low, right? We always want to identify that recent low or recent high because that is a major barrier for traders, because here's what a lot of people are going to look for. They're going to look for that breakout trade to the downside. If we do get a bearish dollar, which remember guys, we want to be adaptive. We want to be prepared for whatever the market decides, right? If we see that, there's a play here on the on the sell side for that continuation downwards. That's completely not out of the question that we get that movement continuation to the downside, kind of pulling this trend lower. So just kind of keeping things simple there on USD JPY. Kind of want to make sure that people are getting that. But simply, right, we have structural levels here that are major importance. We also talked about that 20 period MA. If we get a pullback to that, we might find seller support or seller resistance there at that price level. So if price pulls up to that 20 period combined with that resistance point, that's going to be something to potentially watch for, guys. On USD JPY, I really do like that potential trade setup there, as well as if USD JPY decides to break down. If we do get that bearish movement on USD currency pairs, of course, we could be prepared to take out that low and to look for trend continuation breakdowns. So hopefully that does makes sense there. Are we good to go on USD/JPY? Is there anything that anybody wanted to talk about or I missed? One more thing that I will add is that this long-term level over here, let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. This structural level is something, of course, to watch for as well. So this kind of range is interesting to look for when talking about USD/JPY. Guys, does this make sense there on USD/JPY? Do me a big favor and put yes in the stream chat if you're ready to move on to take a look at the next currency pair. Guys, check out the ice in this cup. I put this in the freezer by mistake. I put it in the freezer for a little bit to like cool off my water. And I accidentally froze the entire glass. Ooh, that's cold. Tastes good though. I put that out at like 5:30 a.m. and it's just now starting to thaw, starting to unfreeze. Thank you guys very much for your yeses. Good to see that we are making sense there. I do want to take a look at GBP at USD. Again, if you have charts that you would like me to look at, please be patient with me. I will continue to look at the charts with you. Guys, we have about 25 minutes. If you were just tuning into the stream, thanks so much for being here. We're going to be doing a giveaway 1 full year. And this could be your lucky day. I know people think it could never be me, but it could be you today. And I think that if fate has it, you'll come join our team anyways. But VIP team available to members today. 1 full year. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on this stream sometime before the news release. 1 full year for free. The only thing you have to do to qualify to win is 1, stay in the stream. Don't go anywhere. Stick around with us. I'm going to be doing that giveaway sometime before the news release. And number 2, subscribe to the channel down below. You have to be subscribed in order to win. So subscribe down below if this is your first time here and you enjoy this content. Of course, we want to see you be back in the future. We do more analysis like this. So if this is helpful to you, make sure you subscribe. Okay. USD/JPY. Let's take a look at GBP USD. Right. And I'm going to drink more of my iced water. Quite literally, it was like iced all the way this morning. But let's continue on. Let's take a look here at GBP USD. Some very bearish structure here, but hey guys, check this out on GBP USD. We've been talking about this in the VIP membership group. I had a chat with somebody today or yesterday about GBP pairs kind of finally finding some sort of a bottom here. Now, of course, that could be temporary and we could find GBP USD cable make a movement down to the downside. We are currently testing that 20 period MA here that we talked about just recently on USD JPY. But we also have some structural points here that I'm looking for when talking about this this news release that we are coming into. Again, NFP in about 22 minutes or so, so do stick around. We're going to be watching the release together. We have some structural levels of resistance here if price does decide to pull back, if we find some more pullback. One thing that I really liked, and I was mentioning to a member yesterday, is, hey, if we get a pullback to this structure here, check this out. This is a pretty nice little trade setup. If we do see a bearish dollar, we could get a pullback nicely to this range right here. You can see if I identify this low as resistance, right back to that 50% level. It also lines up really nice with that 50 period MA. Guys, we talk about it again and again on the stream. One of the best ways to improve your accuracy is to combine multiple factors. Here's our multiple factors. Fibonacci retracement to the 50% level, pullback in a downtrend, right? Retracement to the 50 period MA, right? Resistance level. All of those things combined could give us a nice little trade there when talking about GBP USD. If we do get a movement continue to the upside, we might see sellers step in right around that 50% of this move, okay? So that's something to consider. One more thing is that, hey, if we get a movement to the downside on GBP USD, which would mean a bullish dollar, right, we could head down. Of course, our first stop is going to be potentially to find shorter term support down there. But if we do decide to continue on to the downside, then that's something we want to be prepared for as well, right? We're trying to be adaptive traders. I think that one of the quickest ways to lose your money in trading is to be stubborn and to, is to try and force your will on the market. We could see that continuation to the downside. That's entirely something that's possible. People will tell you it can't go lower. Don't listen to them. Markets can always go lower. They can always go higher. That's markets for you. They don't do what you expect to do all the time, right? But I think that there's a good scenario that if we get that pullback on the daily, that we see some sort of structural break to the upside. If we break it down to the 4 hour really quick here, guys, let's continue to take a look at GBP USD just a little bit more in depth. You can see we did get that crossover to the upside. We have this shorter term that you couldn't quite see on the daily as well. We have this shorter term resistance. This is our recent high, which could potentially come support, right? If we do get that movement to the upside, let's say we get a break to the upside, right? Price could pull back, right? and find temporary support there to find kind of a continuation. That's something that we could see here looking at GBP USD. LOL, you are funny. I appreciate that, and I hope you're not too sarcastic. I can be very, very unfunny too. So it goes both ways. Okay, agreed. Let's continue to move on. I want to make sure that we're good. We've got a giveaway to do before the news release. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, you're going to qualify to potentially win. But remember, all you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to the channel down below and stick around. We're going to be doing that giveaway pretty soon. Prison Break says, what about gold? I'm scared about it. I'm selling. Here's the thing. You shouldn't be scared. If you're scared before the news release, it's one thing to kind of be excited and to look for volatility. I'm excited. I'm not scared though. I have positions on. I'm not afraid of the market movements. Why? My position sizes are small. I trust my strategy. I trust my analysis, and I'm not worried about what the market does, and I'm ready to adapt. Okay? If that's not you, something needs to change in your trading. And one of the best ways to do that is to probably start by surrounding yourself with some people who know what they're doing. If you join our team, if you join our VIP group, you get access to myself, my trading, and everything that I do. You also get access to the many other traders inside that are successful and doing this part-time, full-time, whatever. There's a lot of people in our community that are successful traders, and there's a lot to learn from people inside the group. So join us if you are not already. If you don't know how to do so, you can go to tradernickfx.com really quick. tradernickfx.com. Go to the website. If you want to join our team, you can click join the team. It's not free, but if you want to join, it's available to you there. You can go sign up. The link should be down below in the description to join the team. tradernickfx.com. Thank you very much, all of you guys, for tuning into the stream. We're going to continue on here. We're going to look at the charts. We also have a giveaway coming up real soon, so stick around. Don't go anywhere yet. We've got the news event coming in, 20 minutes or so? 18 minutes here before the news release. We will be doing the giveaway pretty soon, so stick around. Don't miss it. That's your chance to get a free membership, and if you don't get the free membership, don't worry. You can still come join the team. It's relatively inexpensive and very, very worth the value that you get, not only in terms of signals or that, but you get education. You get access to all of the stuff that we're doing as a team. Guys, again, remember to qualify for the giveaway. In case you are not already, you have to subscribe to the channel down below. Click that subscribe button. Join the YouTube family here. Let's continue on. I'd like to take a look. We already took a look at XAU USD, guys. Daniel says, how do I join your VIP group? Like I just mentioned, tradernickfx.com. Go to join the team. You can sign up to be a member. You get access to everything I'm doing in the market, my education, our VIP chat rooms, our growth challenges, everything. I'm doing also a daily analysis videos. So I'm doing videos where I analyze the charts and analyzing our signals. Not just giving you signals blindly, but also telling you what I'm thinking, what's going on in the signals, why, right? That's important to me and important to my members, right? We're not here to just blindly copy or follow. We're here to learn how to trade. Okay, GBP USD. Let's continue on here. We do see we have about, 15 minutes or so here on the news. Let's go ahead and continue on to the next currency pair. I would like to take a look. We looked at USD JPY. We looked at GBP USD. Let's quickly look at NZD USD, guys. I know that this one is one to talk about. Let's go ahead and clear the chart here. And I think I'm also going to remove the moving averages here temporarily. So NZD USD, here's what's super interesting about this currency. We've seen this move to the downside, and check out what we saw here on this chart. Do you guys see what this is? For those of you guys who are paying attention and in the stream chat, what is this? What do we see play out right around this area? Okay, I'm going to give you guys just a second as I drink from my, I don't know what you call this, my glass container thing full of iced water. I spilled just a little bit. Okay, we're good. Okay. So what do we see here when looking at this chart? Let's get rid of that. Emu says, hey, Nick, what's up, man? Good to see you, Emu. So glad to have you on the stream. Sorry, my charts are freaking out right now. Let's refresh the page. So we see a breakout, trendline retest, then shoots up. So yes, breakout, retest. Thank you guys for your feedback. Seriously, I do appreciate your engagement in the stream. I hope everybody is getting something from the stream. Ultimately, that's what's most important to me, is that I am connecting with traders and they're paying attention and they're getting something and learning from this. Don't let this be the only time we hang out. Come back and see us. Dive through some of my content. I post it for you guys for free. I'm trying to help traders. I have content on my channel for you, so go check that all out. You don't need to go pay for a super expensive course to start learning. Sure, there are courses that can help you, and there's good content, and there's ways to get deeper and to spend money and to learn from it and get value out of it. But I have a lot of stuff for free here on the channel that can help you. So massive retracement coming, says Best Virals. Sorry guys for the pause there. I did have to fix my my mouse button wasn't clicking right. Okay, so NZD USD, let's talk about it, guys. I do like the fact that you guys pointed out. I really do agree with you. We did have a nice little break and retest. And in fact, we talked about that trade setup right there back in the day. We had a nice little break of that structure to the downside. We had a retest, and we saw a continuation to the upside. But where could this market pull back to? Well, here's one level that I really, really do think is interesting, is this structure here, right? If we do see some sort of serious selling off, which it would take some serious selling off, if we get that movement down here, you can see if we get that breakdown, we could come back to test that 618, which could be an interesting structural level of support where we find buyers step in. Now, another scenario that I see is check this level out right here. Look at this, guys. This is another interesting point when looking at this 4-hour chart. We're looking for potentially bullish entries here in this kind of pulse to the upside, right? We're seeing that trend start to the upside, and we could see some good opportunities to become a part of it. Okay, so as we pull back, if we get a pullback maybe to that 50% or that 618, you find some sort of confirmation, maybe a moving average that you like, a Fibonacci retracement, support levels, trend lines, whatever you're looking at, right? Whatever your strategy entails, find some potential entries that line up nicely with high probability zones in the market. This level is potentially going to act as buyer support. You can see it was buyer support back here. What was seller resistance became buyer support, right? So that's something to consider as we come into the news. If we see some sort of bearishness on NZD USD, that could be an opportunity to look for some sort of a trade there, okay? Guys, I'm pretty excited because I think I'm going to do the giveaway right now. I'm very, very, very excited to have all of you in here. Real quick before we do the giveaway, guys, does this make sense there on NZD USD? Do me a favor and just put yes or no. I'm really only looking if I'm interested in something here on NZD USD. I'd be potentially interested in that 50% retracement or that 618. Guys, can I move on from this? Can we go ahead and do the giveaway? Do me a big favor and put yes or no in the stream chat down below. Let me know that we are all set to move on to the next currency. Again, guys, if you just signed up for VIP membership, I will get back to you as soon as possible, as soon as the stream is over. I saw a couple people looking to join the team. So if you are watching the stream and you want to join the team, don't worry. You get your chance. You get your chance to be VIP member. Don't worry. If you paid, you get access to it. I will get back to you as soon as the stream is over. So thank you very much. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much for your feedback. Taking another sip from my... God, that's such a weird... It tastes good, though. I like cold water. Okay, let's do the giveaway, guys. I am super excited to do the giveaway with you guys, but please do me a big favor. If you're participating in the giveaway today, you have to pay attention to these next couple rules, okay? This is your chance to win 1 full year of membership with my team. Mentorship, educational content, signals, both day and swing trading, access to our chat rooms, and everything else that comes along with the general team membership you get for an entire year if you choose the right number. Okay, we're not choosing numbers yet, but here's what you need to do in order to qualify to win. Don't get yourself disqualified. Pay attention to all these rules and make sure you follow each one. Number 1, stick around. We're about to jump into the stream. We're going to do it here on the live stream, so don't go anywhere. That's number 1. You have to be in the stream. Number 2, subscribe to the channel. Down below, you have to be a subscriber in order to be considered for the win, right? So give you a second just to subscribe down below if you're not already subscribed and you're willing to participate. Number 3, I'm going to be using a random number generator. If I go to Google and I type in random number generator, we are going to be doing a number 1 to 10,000. Now, before you put any numbers, don't put any numbers yet. Whoever picks the closest number, you get one choice. If you put more than one, somebody's going to tell on you. If you guys see people putting more than one, tell me they're disqualified from winning. You only get a chance to win if you put one number, 1 to 10,000, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, guys, right now in the stream chat down below. Put a number 1 to 10,000. I'm going to generate the number. We'll see who the winner is. You get about 1 minute here. Put your numbers down below, guys. Choose your numbers. Let's see who our lucky winner for the day is on the 1-year VIP membership. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That gives you the chance. I see a lot of numbers flowing in. We're going to do this real quick, and then we're going to jump back in the charts right before the NFP stream. So again, let's get through this really quick. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Seriously, I do appreciate all of you for being here, engaging, participating, paying attention. I do hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you learned from this analysis, and I want you to come back and see us. That's what it's all about, learning, trading together with other traders. I think there's a lack of genuine people out there trying to teach trading. I want to try and create that. So if you are enjoying the content here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, obviously, to participate in the giveaway. And we're going to give it just another minute or just about 10, 15 seconds here before I actually go through and we'll go ahead and pick the winner, okay? So just another second here. Let's count it down. We'll get 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to type done. No more numbers, okay? Let's see, guys. Let's generate the number. Do me a favor. Can somebody help me out here? Well, I see a bunch of numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys slide in past the date. But just know you're late to the party. I see a couple of you guys who are VIP members. You totally get to slide through. Okay, do me a big favor. Okay, we're gonna roll the die here. Can somebody help me? Those of you guys who are VIP members especially, that would help me a bunch. I know there's a lot of numbers here to look through. Can you guys help me out? Do me a big favor. I know there's a better way to do this, but let's generate the number and let's see who our winner is. I'm gonna do our drum roll, our standard, and we're gonna go ahead and generate the number. Let's go. Here we go. 2883. Can somebody help me out? Again, I'm gonna be taking a look here to see who our winner is. Right? So let's go ahead and look through. I'm going to look for the winning number. Just give me just a second here. As we look, I see 2,500 currently looking closest. 2,900, that's our closest. So far, Daniel is our closest. 2,900. 2,900. That's pretty close. 2,900 still seems to be the winner. I think Daniel is our winner. Daniel Yardy, you are our winner. Awesome. You are our winner. Daniel, reach out to me, send me a message on Telegram or on Discord or on Instagram, however you want to contact me. Get in contact with me. You get 1 free year with the VIP team. Thank you so much to all of you guys for participating. But listen, before we go anywhere, we still have the news release. So let's get back into the charts. We want to see what this news is about. Again, if you didn't win the giveaway, it's not the end of the world. You can still join the team. It's relatively inexpensive. TraderNickFX.com. Go join on the team. Again, the link is down below in the description, TraderNickFX.com. If you like my style, if you like what we're doing here and you want to learn more from me and you want to trade with me, you can do so by joining the team. I will help you get involved in the team, and you can follow along with what we're doing as a community and as a trading team there on the website, TraderNickFX.com. Go in there, sign up, and we will jump into it. Again, Caden says nobody can predict news. That's exactly right. I'm with you on that. No need to predict news, but we can adapt with what's given to us in the market. Let's go ahead and take a look at Aussie US really quick. We have 7 minutes before the news release, guys. I've got to drink some water before my throat falls out. 7 minutes. 7-minute sprint. I think I can do it. I'm out of water, so we'll see what we can get. Again, let's take a look at Aussie dollar. Let's see what's going on with this chart. I'm going to start fresh because this is looking like a mess. So I'd like to quickly look at the daily here. And let's talk about this overall downtrend that we see happening in Aussie dollar. Okay. Again, if we see some sort of major structural move, this would entail that we get a bearish dollar. If we get a bearish dollar release, we could see Aussie dollar head up to a structural level of resistance that I think is a very, very high probability sell setup. And let me tell you why. Again, selling pressure here, selling pressure here, selling pressure here. And if we get a movement up here, there's a good chance that we see sellers step in and push this price lower. One more thing that I think it lines up nicely with is, check this out. This shelf here lines perfectly up with this structural level of resistance, right? So that's something to consider when looking at this chart. Let's go ahead and make it red just so I don't piss people off. Aussie dollar, looking to see if we get a retracement up to that structural level of resistance. And if we do, there's a good chance we get some sort of sell-off. So that's a scenario that we may see play out here on Aussie dollar. Let's bring it back down to the 4-hour temporarily. That's kind of a longer term potential opportunity there. One more thing, of course, we want to identify our relative lows. And we saw a triple bottom there before price rallied to the upside. So that is a strong structural level of support in the market. So if price does make a move down there, we may see an intraday bounce off of that structure potentially before any sort of continuation to the downside. That's what I would see there when looking at this chart. Looking here again at Aussie dollar. Guys, we've got a couple minutes before the news, so stick around. We're going to watch the news release together here. I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in and being a part of the stream. See a lot of people, all sorts of people in the chat. Hope says, hi, Nick. Nice to see you. Hope all is great with you. Thinking long gold, oil, long Aussie. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And thanks so much for being here. Welcome to the stream. Eddie says 12 hours and 12:23 a.m. here. New time zone. Not treating me well. Oh, that's rough. Sorry to hear that. What about trading the rejection? Yeah, so if we see some sort of retracement or, kind of on the release, we get some sort of spike in reverse, that is some potential opportunity, but I don't like to try and scalp the news. I think it's a very dangerous game, especially with spreads, freezing stuff, brokers kind of working against you sometimes. All of that stuff can be rough. So, again, guys, thank you very much. Daniel, what you can do to contact me on Telegram, and anybody who would like to, I'm going to go ahead and send it down below. On Telegram, TraderNick135 is my Instagram and Telegram username. If you guys have any questions for me and you'd like to join my team, TraderNick135, or you can just go to the website, TraderNickFX.com. Sign up. It's really easy to do, and I will get back to you as soon as the stream is over. So Aussie dollar, again, Aussie dollar looking at the 4-hour chart. Why 135? That's a good question. Because it was the first 3 odd numbers when I was a little kid. I just went 1, 3, 5 because everybody else wanted to do even numbers and I'm an odd kid. So let's continue to move on Aussie dollar, pulling back to this structural level of resistance here. That's a scenario. We also have that scenario on the downside. If we do see a push to the low side, meaning that we get a bullish dollar, we could see, of course, we could see this price level come into potential support there. Okay. Hey Nick, how does oil react to NFP? Good question. Oil can be heavily affected by the NFP because the US dollar is in there. Anything with the US dollar can be affected because the US dollar valuation will go up or down based on unemployment rate changes and all that sort of stuff. Guys, we have just about over 2 minutes here, about 2 minutes here on the news release coming out. We took a look at Aussie dollar. We took a look at New Zealand. Took a look at a lot of charts. So let's really quick, just on the concept of oil, let's talk about oil. Again, very, very bearish here overall. We'll see if we can get some sort of continuation to that trend or if we decide to break structure very quickly before we jump back onto USD CAD, which I will be watching for the release. This is a structural level of resistance in the market. We also have a couple other levels here as well. We have this level, right? We've talked about a bearish oil movement for quite some time, and we're seeing that follow through. We have also this structural level in the market. These are levels to look for in terms of resistance points, and of course, our relative support is going to be those lows. So if we make a way back down to our low, we might find intraday potential support there. Hopefully that makes sense there, guys. We've got the news release coming in just about a minute or so. So thank you very much, all of you guys, for tuning into the stream. I seriously do appreciate it. Again, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. If this analysis was helpful to you and you want to see more of it, there's educational content, everything on my channel. Let's go ahead and jump back to USD CAD. Let's go ahead and clear the chart here and watch what happens here on the actual news release. I'm going to bring it down to the 15-minute chart so we can watch the release, guys. Thank you so much again for being here and being a part of what we do here live on the stream. Seriously, it does mean the world to me that we have so many active participants and people engaged. Over 100 people in the stream today. That's our biggest stream ever. Seriously, thank you so much for being here. It's been a long time coming, and we've had a lot of success here on the stream and channel. Met a lot of amazing traders, and I want to meet more of you guys. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get to check out some more content. Guys, we have about 30 seconds here coming into the news hot. Gonna be interested to see what we get at move here on the US dollar. Again, lots of people at their charts, I'm sure. People around the world watching this release as we get into it. Junkin Monkey says infected. I love it. 10 seconds here, guys. Let's see what we get overall when looking at NFP this time. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Little pullback here before the news, and we'll see what we get. Okay, guys, looking like USD CAD moving to the south side. Let's see what we get overall. A quick 40 movement, 50 pip or so movement. Not quite 50 pips to the downside. Let's take a look at USD Swiss really quick. We'll jump back over in a second. USD Swiss looking like a just quick pullback here on the chart. Euro USD moving up, right? Coming into some contact with some relative resistance here at the top. That's something to look for on the Euro USD, right? Let's take a look at New Zealand dollar. We just talked about that. Moving up as well. You can see that the US dollar came out as looking like a negative reaction, worse than expected. I'm shaking in my boots, says Jay. Aussie dollar, let's take a look here. Right, okay. So looking at that, looking like we got a bearish move for the US dollar. What's going to be interesting, guys, is going to see if we see some sort of continuation there or if this is just a quick movement. A lot of times with NFP, you get that quick spike and then you get that reversal. And so we'll see what we get here looking at USD CAD. USD CAD was already pretty sold off, so it's looking very, very interesting. We did talk about the fact that we had this structural level, and it's looking now that we're really we're really breaking through that, and we're looking to potentially start a new trend to the downside. Hassan says USD JPY. You certainly can take a look at that. USD JPY not moving massively. 35 pips or so. USD CAD really got the big movement. Actually, maybe USD Swiss did as well. Euro USD moved. USD JPY, though, not moving massively. You can see price pulling back. We may see price come into contact with that triple bottom zone. That could be an opportunity there. Thanks for bringing that up. Again, let's go ahead and see what's going on overall. USD JPY, let's take a look at USD CAD once more, see what's updated on here. Let's take a look at that 15-minute chart. Kind of trading near the lows, so strong movement here as far as the news release came out. Can I see the... Oh, it's a little bit delayed. I haven't seen the news yet. Interesting stuff there, though. USD CAD kind of moving to the south side. Okay. So, okay, awesome. Yeah, so some serious movement there on NFP. Usually, that's a pretty big move overall. Let's see, what was the total movement? Right around 50 pips or so on USD CAD. So very, very interesting there. USD JPY, let's take a look at once more time at USD Swiss. Let's see what the movement here as far as pip movement goes. We had about 43, right around 50 pips also on USD Swiss. And what I'm interested to see, guys, is, hey, check this level out right here on USD Swiss. We'll see if we get some sort of a bounce here. Usually these levels are going to be opportunities where you see some sort of short-term bounce. So we may see some sort of intraday structure here, especially if spreads normalize a little bit. We could see some opportunities there to look for some sort of a bounce. That's an opportunity. Okay, so cool. Yep, look at that, kind of respecting that structural level here. You can see that this level, this high zone, didn't quite make it, but came pretty close and turned back around. We'll see if we get some more pullback on that or if we're going to continue and break through this structure. I'm really interested to see what happens on Euro USD especially. You can see price, where price closes is going to be super interesting to watch. Okay, let's bring it at least to the 1 hour for starters. Looking at Euro USD. What's interesting to see is, hey, if we get that structural break to the upside, if we see some sort of a close and continuation there, that could be interesting to watch for, like we mentioned earlier on Euro USD, to see if we get some sort of structure there. Again, retesting that trend line pretty nicely and finding temporary support, but we will see how it holds here coming in the next couple hours. Again, we'll see if that trend structure can hold or if we're going to see a break of that trend and a movement to the upside. Again, looking to see if structure can break higher in order to actually be convinced that Euro USD is bullish. For the most part, price looking stretched right now and not quite closing above that structural level resistance, but we will see what the market decides. If we can get that close above, that's potentially a bullish signal for the day, short term. Prior month NFP was also revised down, so 2x bad. Oh, I did not know that. Thanks for sharing that, Igor. Good point. Prior month NFP was also revised down. Interesting. Let's take a look at gold. I want to take a look at that. So we did come back up. Well, yeah, we did make a move back up to test those structure highs, which is super interesting. And what we're interested to see is to see how this resistance level holds. If this level holds at all, or if we're going to see some sort of a pullback here, if we're going to see structure kind of fade to the downside, or if we're going to see that continuation upwards. So we're going to watch that to see. Again, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to come back and see us again. We do these pretty regularly, and also for a lot of other news events as well, usually. So if you want to participate and watch more news events like this and work with me on the charts in the future, you can do so by subscribing to the channel down below. And of course, you can also join the VIP team if you'd like to. Come trade alongside with me. If you did not win in the giveaway today, that's totally fine. You can still join the team. It's relatively inexpensive. I'm still keeping my prices down low for the time being. Eventually, they will go up, but for the time being, they are available to you for pretty cheap. Go to the link down below in the description, tradernickfx.com. Click join the team right here, and you can get involved with me. I will get you set up in the team pretty quick after that. So XAU USD, kind of keeping things simple there. Price movement to the high side. That's crazy. We've really seen some continuation moves here when looking at XAU USD. And we'll see how this high can hold, if we're going to break through highs and continue, or if things are going to pull back. Right, looking at XAU USD, back to those highs. You can see that with that bearish report, gold, appreciated and made a movement to the upside. Shakti says USD should continue further bearish and break through supports as data is below expectation and Fed is willing to cut rates. Interesting points, definitely from a fundamental perspective. I think from a technical perspective, it should be interesting to watch as well, especially as price seems pretty stretched. We could see some, at least some pullback before that plays out, but we'll be looking to see what we get overall. I do like that point, Shakti. Thanks very much for sharing. Okay. So that's that. Let's take a look back at USD CAD, see if anything else is interesting. Again, breaking that structure here on the daily, which is super interesting. In fact, also breaking this trend line here pretty nicely. Right, check that out. Some confirmation beneath that trend line as well, looking pretty bearish here. Kind of forming some tops there along the way and really selling off now on USD CAD. Super, super interesting to see there. USD CAD breaking beneath that level of what was support, potentially going to look as resistance now. If price does make a move to the upside, we could be watching for something like this, right? Some sort of movement there, might find seller resistance there and push prices lower. Of course, we have some structural levels down here that I'd like to look at really quick with you guys. Check this one out. That's a major structural level that we're currently testing. That's going to be super interesting to see how that holds today. My expectation from a technical perspective, what the technicals are telling me, is that we could see some bounce here, a pullback to that structural level, and to potentially continue that downtrend that is starting and looking here on USD CAD. Now, there's no guarantees that a downtrend continues, and we don't know that a trend is going to continue, but we can, analyze the charts and we can see what our technical analysis is saying. If we do see some sort of pullback, we could see price movements lower eventually, but I think that we could see a nice pullback or a jump back up here on this structural level here of support. So that's something to look for when looking at USD CAD. I'm going to watch that. I don't want to look at a 45-minute chart. From a 1 hour perspective, coming into contact with that structural zone, going to be interesting to see if we get some sort of a bounce there. Whoops. And let's take a look. GBP USD, how did this one do? So we did break structure there. We did break structure there, and what's going to be interesting to see is if we can break and close above this level of resistance, or if price is going to fade back in. Again, watching that 1 hour candlestick, you can see we have about 20 minutes on the candle. If we do close above that, we may see some intraday continuation to the upside here on GBP USD. Again, talking about that structure that we talked about, right? If we get that movement up, we get a pull back, we could see continuation on GBP USD currently, looking interesting. USD Swiss, says Daniel. Sure, we can take a look at that. If I could grab this. There we go. USD Swiss, potentially coming into contact with those lows. That's going to be something to watch for here on USD Swiss. Good point. Thanks for sharing that. I think USD CAD will end up unchanged in reverse. It's down move as oil price falls and as per risk sentiment. Interesting points. Thanks for sharing that, Shaq T. Seriously. The oil point especially, that was super interesting. You know, I mean, let's quickly actually take a look at WTI USD here. Again, not a massive movement here. But we will see overall what happens with oil. Aussie dollar may be headed to test this structural high. That could be something that we talk about. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Potentially going to come into contact to test this structural high, potentially to make a move up. If we do see that, we could see a break, retest, and continuation to potentially go back and test this structural point that we identified earlier in the stream, kind of lining up nicely with that overall downtrend. So hopefully that makes sense there. Guys, again, thank you very much for showing up to the stream. If this was your first time here and you want to come back and see us again, I invite you to subscribe to the channel down below. If you also click that little notification bell next to it, you'll get alerts for when I go live. I know sometimes people say they miss my streams. The best way to avoid missing the stream is to turn on that notification bell. You'll get notified whenever I go live. So click the bell next to the subscribe button and subscribe if you're not already. Okay, so Aussie dollar looking kind of interesting there. Let's also talk about... We talked about GBP USD. We talked about Aussie dollar. We talked about oil. We already talked about USD CAD, but I am just watching that one to see where that structure point is. You can see price already kind of holding that structural low there, off of the lows there. What is that? 8 or so pips just off that bottom structure right there. We'll see if we get some sort of continuation there. Shakti says if USD Swiss can close below 0.99 level, it should easily go to 0.97. So that should be interesting to see. We'll jump back over to USD Swiss. If we close beneath that, we could see, yeah, totally entirely possible. We could see a structure, I think, down to this point is not out of the question for sure. At least to go back and test those structural lows to see if there's buyers there or if price is going to continue. Ooh, that looks terrible. Again, going off of our concept here, looking like we may see one of these scenarios play out where we get a breakdown, potential retest, and continuation lower. That's something that we could see on USD Swiss. Again, we are looking, however, when talking about USD Swiss, I do like the opportunity potentially to go back and test that structural level of resistance here in the market. This trend line to the downside may be something that we see get retested. So that's something to watch for. A lot of times when you see markets in a trend, you want to see them pull back. You want to see those healthy retracements to refine sellers or buyers in a trend. So we very well may see that in USD Swiss today. Or not today, but in the next coming days or weeks. Kenneth says, please check out the peso. Sure. What's interesting about the peso is that it barely moved here, even though it has USD in it. And I think that the reason for that is that the peso currently is very, very weak with everything going on. So I think that we didn't really quite see much of a retracement here because there's so many people who are holding this price level right now to the buy side. However, what I will share with the USD Mexican peso is that we did get a nice little pullback to that 50% retracement. And if price does pull back there again, that could be a ranging market setup where you see another buy opportunity. That's something to look for as far as the peso goes. That's super interesting. We also, of course, have major levels of resistance up at the top. We also have kind of a bull flag potential setup here, right? You can see price kind of consolidating. Right, you can see kind of price just kind of consolidating here and across the top. Here's our flag, here's our pull, or here's our flag, here's our pull. We may see a continuation to the upside, watching this structural major level of resistance as the first major point to talk about. As far as potential downside, of course, if we do get a movement to the downside, could see a retest and continuation lower. That's something to look at. Miguel says, can we talk about Aussie dollar? Sure we can, no problem. AUD USD. Let's check it out. Possible pullback. Let's look at the 1 hour. If we do get a pullback, I think our first stop, of course, is going to be this structural point here. It's entirely possible to get a pullback, but here's the thing with Aussie dollar, it would not be out of the question to go back up to test this structural level resistance. So we may see bigger opportunities for sell-off at this point, right? That's something to look for. If we do get a pullback, right, we are in the context of an uptrend. So if we do get a pullback, there might be some buy opportunities, as well as a more aggressive pullback might lead us to come back and test this trend line structure, right? We could see a move back down here. That's something to look for as well. From a technical perspective, that's entirely something that we could see. We could see price come back to test that trend line there. Hopefully that does make sense there on Aussie dollar, looking at the 1 hour chart. Does anybody else have charts you'd like me to look at? Of course, if you have any, you can mention them in the stream chat. I will happily take a look at them for you. Let's talk quickly CAD Yen. Let's see how this one moved. Let's talk about it from a 4 hour perspective. Look at how this resistance point held, guys. This is interesting. This is kind of the power of technicals right there. Look at that level, which played out pretty nice. If we grab a Fibonacci retracement, look at that. That 50% level held really nice. Price pushing down lower, came back up, found resistance. You can see that pin bar, not really a pin bar, but kind of that candlestick pattern kind of interestingly showing some stuff there. So interesting to watch there. Hope says DXY. Sure, we could take a look at that, Hope, for sure. Guys, if you're not already a part of my VIP team and you would like to, you can get access to my trading signals, educational content, as well as our membership chat room. If you're trading out there and you're by yourself and you don't have a community, our community is the best place to be. I say that confidently because I truly believe that we have some amazing people working together. And if you are looking to trade with other people and you're out there and you're trading by yourself and you don't know what you're doing, stop that. Don't trade by yourself. You're just going to lose money. If you join our team, I'm not saying that you're going to guaranteed make money, but I am saying that you're going to surround yourself with people who are making money, and you're going to potentially be able to learn from them and follow along with what they're doing and how they're looking at the markets, and to create your own strategy. We're all about learning to do this self-sufficiently. And if you want to do that, the best way to do it is to join my team. It's very, very affordable. TraderNickFX.com. The link is down below in the description, right? So go ahead and click that link if you want to join the team. Come join and trade with us. We're learning every single day. We're working together. I work with traders every single day. I probably answer about 100 questions from traders a day, and I love to do it, and I'm not complaining. Okay? So if you'd like to join us, the link is down below. I can't put it better any other way. I created this team so that we could combine like-minded people who are serious, genuine, and not looking to just get rich quick. If that's you, come join us. Okay? Let's talk about CAD Yen. Again, pulling back to this 50% retracement. That's super interesting. This structural low is going to be something to watch for, and this resistance point is super interesting as well. So that's going to be something I'm looking for as far as CAD Yen, looking on the 4 hour chart to see if we see some continuation there. I think that the next step is that we see some sort of push down lower. And of course, we have levels of support on the way, this being one of them right here. This structural point right around that 80.66 level is going to be interesting to watch for in CAD Yen. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the DXY for Hope, no problem. You can see the overall dollar selling off pretty sharply there. Let's bring it to a daily perspective. And let's make that a little less ugly. Look at this, guys. What's interesting about the DXY is right now, we're pulling in nicely to a trend line pullback, okay? A lot of people are going to tell you that the dollar is headed nowhere but south, and that very well could be the case. We could see further selling, and that's not out of the question. But we are coming into a technical level of good potential opportunity, right? From a technical perspective, we're looking here, looking pretty oversold, and we're looking from the potential to get some sort of a bounce there as far as what the technicals are telling us, right? So if we do get a technical bounce, long term, you know, the trend is still up, even though it seems really down and prices are really, really low here for the dollar. The trend overall is still up, and that if we get this pullback, this might be a price point where buyers step in and push price higher. And of course, we don't know that to be the case. We could see some sort of structure break, and that's entirely possible as well, where we see some sort of movement like this, in which case we need to adapt and we need to deal with our trades, and we need to potentially look for downtrend setups, right? Hope says excellent session today. Thank you very much, Hope. I really do appreciate that. I believe this is your first time here. I really do appreciate you tuning in. And for everybody who's tuned in today, thanks so much for being here. Seriously, it was so nice to meet a lot of you guys. There's a lot of noise out there in the Forex world. There's a lot of people trying to sell you stuff that's nonsense, and they're trying to make you think you can get rich quick, and they're telling you all these simple things, and it's just not true. Trading is not easy. It requires dedication. It requires passion. It requires hard work. And if that is something that you understand and that you appreciate, if you appreciate that it's going to be hard and you appreciate that it's going to take time and effort, that's where our team comes in. I know I keep saying it, but I really do believe in getting the right people to join our team, because if you're the right person, if you're a genuine trader, if you're looking to seriously take this one step at a time, improve and improve and improve and never stop improving, our team is the place to be. We're not going to get you rich overnight. That's not what we're here to tell you. But we are going to combine heads with you. We're going to think through things. We're going to trade alongside each other, and we do educational analysis. I do analysis with my signals for the most part. I'll do videos on what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about in the market. All of that is available to members. I would love to have you join our team. Again, really quick, the link is down below in the description. Come join us, tradernickfx.com. That's the website. Come click join the team. What's up, my man Garrett? Wise words. Good to see you. Can't wait for your next video, man. I've been loving your videos. Drunken Monkey says, sometimes it's better to ask someone who is already making profits than to just Google for generic answers. Absolutely, Drunken Monkey, because here's the other thing about looking for people on Google, right? When you're looking for people on Google, they have some sort of motive. They don't care if you succeed, right? They care to sell you some nonsense thing that's going to make them a lot of money. And truthfully, right, if I wanted to make the most money, I could just be one of those people selling, BS, selling overpriced stuff to people who don't actually need it. And that's not what I'm here to do. I love interacting with traders. It's my biggest passion is to work with traders, to help people, to motivate them. That is what makes me tick. And I want to share that, and I want to trade with people who are serious and ready to learn. And if that is you, one more time, tradernickfx.com. It's in the link down below. Come join us. Come work with me. I'm ready to work with you if you're ready to work with me. Okay? And seriously, you get people like Drunken Monkey who are hilarious and also extremely on it. We had him on stream. We learned a lot together. He's on one of my videos. Again, if you're new to the stream or to the channel, if you subscribe down below, you can come check out some of my other content as well. Feel free to check that out. Drunken Monkey or Ryan and I had a great conversation. It's linked in the channel. It's one of our podcast episodes. That was super fun. All you have to do is ask 1 million people for $1. That's true. And in Forex, all you have to do is learn how to make $1 and keep it, and do it every single day. I know that sounds generic and it sounds tongue-in-cheek, and it is, right? But truthfully, I've found that consistency doesn't come from making big gains all of a sudden. Consistency comes from making small gains, compounding them, and building that account over time. Guys, we hit over 100 people in the stream today. I cannot thank you enough for being here and for interacting, and I hope that you did get something out of this. Madi says USD try. I'm going to take a look at that, and that's going to be our last one for the day. But thank you very much again, seriously. It means so much to me that you guys tuned into the stream, hung out with me. I hope you got something out of it. That's what I want to do. Seeing USD try pull back here to that 61.8, finding support here, interestingly enough. Personally, I don't trade this currency pair. I think it's a very, very dangerous one. The Turkish lira is a very dangerous thing. Very, very high interest rates and all that sort of stuff. Dangerous stuff. But USD try from a daily perspective, we saw that 61.8. We may be headed back up to test that structural high there. We also have points of interest right here. Right, you can see that this level actually held pretty nicely. Seller's resistance there. So that's something to look for. Potential opportunities there on USD try. But again, guys, seriously, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to probably close up the stream. But before I do, I just want to thank you guys seriously for showing up to the stream, interacting, answering the questions that I had for you, asking questions to me. That's what makes people better traders, is that grinding it out, learning, getting in on the charts, and working with other traders. And again, tradernickfx.com. If you want to come join the team, you can do so. We would love to have you join us and work alongside with other traders who are like-minded. If you're genuine and you're looking for genuine people, that's what we're here to do. We're not here to sell you nonsense. That stuff doesn't work. It's just going to lose you money. Don't chase it. You're wasting your time if you're buying extremely expensive stuff that doesn't help you at all. Okay? it's all glamour, it's all, you know, shiny, and it doesn't actually help you. If you're looking for the real thing, it's pretty dull. It's pretty realistic. It's pretty modest. It's long podcasts. It's sessions on the YouTube channel. It's working on the charts. It's analyzing the charts consistently. It's understanding that you have to lose. It's understanding all the things that nobody wants to tell you are true. That's what's going to make you consistent. If you want to be consistent, I can help you do that. No doubt. I'm confident. I've helped a lot of people go from not consistent at all to consistently making money, and I can help you with that. But, and there is a big but, first of all, you have to join the team. You have to show me you're serious, right? It does cost money to be in my team. You don't go to school for free. So if you want to join my team, it's not free. The second thing is that if you want to learn, you have to be ready to work. You have to be ready to put in a lot of effort on your end. I'm not just going to do it for you. I can't. You literally cannot have somebody else trade for you successfully because you have to understand what makes the machine work. If that's something that you're interested in, if you're looking to really learn and to trade alongside with me, that's exactly who I want on my team. So one more time, guys, TraderNickFX.com down below. I'm going to cut off the stream here. I hope that you got something out of it. Again, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for being here again. This is Nick signing off, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, guys. Catch you later.